And you're looking at it like, well, how come I can't have more than one husband? More than one husband for what? For dick or for resources? Because in today's day, all of these women are independent. They got their own job. They got their own house. They got their own car. They're making all their money. In times of old, women stayed at their father's house. And the only way they were able to leave was when a man wifed them up. And all of these women were virgins. These women were not thoughts. They didn't have no Instagram account. They were not on OnlyFans. These were all virgin sisters, the daughters of Zion. They were all virgins. They weren't hoes. They weren't out here getting pumped and dumped, passed around, and then decided they want to be married later on after they had 2 or 3 kids. No, these were pure sisters that were virgins, women that sustained their life, practiced what they preached. They were followers of the Most High. They were trained and prepped to be wives. They were not like these women today. You understand? But see, you ladies, you act as if though you're saints. You act as if though you're innocent. You act as if though you're not doing nothing wrong, when really your legs is open pretty much for everybody. You know, when we think about righteousness, you know, where exactly are these righteous women that are virgins today? I mean, a black man can't even find a woman that is a virgin because they've all been pretty much ran through or have kids by other men. And that's the culture we live in today. It's totally ungodly, totally dysfunctional, you know, to the point where you'll have a woman that got 3, 4, 5 kids and she's a single mom, but she's expecting a man to marry her, take care of her and all her kids. But if you talk about polygyny, something's wrong. She don't want to share you with another woman, but she wants to share her children that are not yours with you. Let that math make sense.
Hey guys, before we continue, I found that 35% of you who watch these videos are not subscribed. Click that subscribe button to support truth and click the like button to keep these videos circulated within the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for supporting truth. Let's get back to it. So what you heard was RingoTV about 3 or 4 years ago talking about virgin women having access to marriage. Okay, and according to the biblical days, virgin women had access to men who had multiple wives. Okay, and they were okay to dwell with that whole situation. All right, but the key is virgin women. All right, RingoTV continues to hold this position to this day that polygyny is biblical. All right, but you heard him talking out both sides of his mouth when he mentioned virgin women. Okay, now in several of my videos within the last few months, I made mention of how RingoTV is a stage playing hypocrite because he accused NuBreed of only having a baby mama. Yet, he used to hold the position, talking about RingoTV, his position on marriage used to be that you don't need a marriage certificate. But he accused NuBreed of not having a marriage certificate. Okay, so I'm calling out his hypocrisy here because you must keep in mind, again, as I've mentioned in several of my videos, that 3 or 4 years ago, RingoTV was still cool with Dirty Low Dowell and NuBreed. But when he fell out with them, in order to strengthen his argument, he parachuted and played the hypocrite and started condemning Dirty Low Dowell and NuBreed of not being lawfully married, according to what he calls polygyny, lawful polygyny. Okay, now my position is that polygyny is no longer lawful, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, because of sexual immorality. Okay, whenever you do not have a plethora of virgin women in our society, and the men of the biblical days practice polygyny, if we're unable to do it under the same circumstances that they practice polygyny, meaning we're not in the land of our captives. Okay, we're not under captivity. Okay, once you're under captivity, then you're under the rule and submission to a matriarchal kingdom. So he's going to continue to give his spiel. Okay, and those of you who haven't checked out my RingoTV or Weirdo TV playlist, go check it out where you can see his hypocrisy. Okay, because now all of a sudden he's trying to go back to the scriptures and act like he knows what he's talking about, but he don't. Okay, that's why he has yet to address Fates and Gates. Okay, because I exposed them, I destroyed them. All right, and it was him who said he challenges anyone to come and prove to him that polygyny is not biblical. All right, and I've done that in a host of videos. But anyway, continue.
So, We talked about that. And now we talked about also that sex equals marriage in the last video. And I brought up the scripture in Genesis chapter 38, verse 7 to 10, where pretty much in verse 8, and Judah said unto Onan, go in unto thy brother's wife and marry her. Now, how do you marry a woman according to the Bible? You have to have sex.
Yeah, but when Judah thought that he caught Tamar, who was Onan's wife, or his brother's wife, when he thought that he caught Tamar playing the harlot, he had the legal system ready to stone her to death, okay, until she provided proof that it was Judah who was paying her to be a harlot, okay? Back then, a woman was stoned to death if she committed adultery. Okay, and RingoTV has never explained this. He's never broken this down like I have. Okay, he keeps tiptoeing, beating around the bush. All right, and now he doesn't even touch on polygyny. I don't know if those of you who watch his videos, he don't touch on polygyny like he used to. Okay, because he knows that I'm going to get alert that he's talking about it. All right, and I'm going to continue to expose. I'm going to expose him anyway. Okay, but under polygyny was a patriarchal system. Okay, the most beautiful of women were stoned to death for committing adultery. Okay, Christ said that this is an adulterous generation. And then the Apostle Paul followed it up by saying because of sexual immorality. All right, get that through your brain. Sexual immorality, adulterous generation. Okay, for those of you brothers out there who continues to sanction this Negro talking about polygyny is biblical. No, it is not. You need a government sanction to stone men and women to death for disobeying the law of God. Okay, now under the law of grace, you might say, well, shouldn't it be the same? Because then you got the lake of fire. No, the lake of fire, the scriptures in the New Testament say the penalty is the sting of death, meaning the surprise of judgment. Okay, man no longer gets judged for all of his sins on earth like he did under the law of Moses. You understand what I'm saying? Man has to wait until he die. Then it's a surprise of judgment. And we all know that the lake of fire is eternal. Okay, but under the law of Moses, they had a penal system. Not only that, they had a situation where concubines were registered to each household. Okay, so the same way today, you have a marriage certificate for a husband and wife. You also had certificate and a system for keeping up with the concubines that belong to each household, because a man was penalized for laying with another man's concubine as well. Okay, or that man would speak a curse upon that woman and that man. Okay, and God would honor that curse. Okay, and something spiritually would happen to that man's bloodline. That's also how you prove bloodline curses. You see what I'm saying? But this guy here, you notice when he talks, he's very vague. Not only that, pay close attention as I play these clips. He's putting more emphasis on appealing to the woman versus letting you know what the law of God says. Okay, because I just destroyed that whole Onan Tamar passage that he tried to use, talking about sex is legal and you just get together with a woman and have sex. No, because any man can do that with a harlot. Hookups, people who do that, he talked about having a ceremony. And that's the position that he holds today. And that's what he used to condemn NuBreed, saying that NuBreed never had a ceremony with that Hispanic woman. Okay, so he's playing the hypocrite. All right, but anyway, continue.
A lot of times people think in this day that in order for you to get married legally, that you have to go down to some church or some judge or whatever the case is and have a witness, and then somehow, we can pronounce you man and wife with a marriage certificate from the government. That's not the case according to the Bible. When you lay with a woman, you make that woman your wife. So if you are a person right now who is just sleeping around and bouncing from relationship to relationship, you're living a life of whoredom. You're an adulterer and you're an adulteress, and you will be in the lake of fire. There's no way around that. You could cry a river, you could say what you want. At the end of the day, why are you watching my show? This is a channel for truth. If you don't want to watch, then you can go click off and go somewhere else. I'm not here to tickle your ear. If you want truth, then remain and eat at this table. If you don't want no truth, you can go to hell, because at the end of the day, you're going to go to hell anyway.
No, you're going to hell because you don't even practice polygyny. So you're a hypocrite, okay? That's why I did the video that I did when RingoTV was talking about child support, because he's well aware that this is a matriarchal kingdom. And he's aware of the potential penalty that he'll face, the wrath of God, if he ever took on a second wife, okay? Because he knows the likelihood of there being some drama, it's like a 99.5% chance, okay? Because now his wife has to deal with this new woman, okay? And in private, his wife probably don't even approve of him having a second wife. Yet, he does it for viewership, because a lot of the men who do believe in polygyny, he'll lose their viewership. But me, I don't care, okay? I'm telling the truth. Okay, I understand that people are always, when you talk about these things like fornication and marriage, biblical marriage and what's lawful and what's not, people are always treating you like you're the one trying to take away their fun, like you're the one who wrote the Bible. No, it's the law of God. Do you want me to be honest with you, or do you want me to lie to you? Okay, because RingoTV don't practice what he preached. Okay, he knows. He tells you to go start another family with another woman, go get another woman pregnant. Okay, I got receipts for this. And he's telling you that if your wife, if she want to leave, let her leave, knowing that this is a matriarchal kingdom. And if she leaves, she can put you on child support. She can deduct alimony from your paycheck. Okay, so brothers, we need to call him out for playing the hypocrite. All right, continue.
Because every lady that is viewing this broadcast right now is going to be single for life. I'm here to tell you. You can say how you want, feel, whatever the case is. You are going to be single for life if you are the type of woman who is anti-polygyny. Well, don't I have a choice in this? I mean, I don't want to deal with a man that have more than one wife. Lady, I don't think you get it. The man that you got right now have another woman. You just don't know. Now, whether it's done in secret, it is what it is. You caused that. See, when women don't embrace that which is righteous, men are going to go underground and do what they do. And they're going to be wicked about it. It's like, if I can't tell you because you're going to want to break up the relationship, then I'm just going to lie. And that's what men are doing. So you created that because you want to control the man's manhood when you really can't. He's going to go do what he's going to do. So he's going to be wicked.
That's just like saying God tempts men to do evil. Okay, because if it's the law of God that man is to practice polygyny, then it shouldn't matter what the woman feels. Okay, because he's saying, this is what I was talking about earlier, how he's appealing to the woman by using fear tactics, suggesting that the man is going to cheat on her anyway. Okay, if it's the law of God that it's a holy covenant for a man to practice polygyny, then God wouldn't tempt the man to go and cheat on the woman anyway, if most of the women out here are giving it up. Okay, and most of the women out here are not virgins. Because remember, he talked about virgins earlier. Okay, so to practice polygyny, again, you need a host of virgin women in all of the cities. Okay, and you need a system of registration for virgins. Okay, to prove that they're virgins. You need a system of registration, obviously, for husband and wife, certificates of marriage like we have today. Then you also need a system of registration for concubines. Okay, so if we're going to prove all of these things and everything is out there on the table, then why are you using fear tactics to appeal to the woman? See, this is the voice of the serpent. And you have to remember, around this time, Kevin Samuels was popping. So RingoTV was trying to copy his style. See, I'm putting two and two together. All right. He was taking a lot of Kevin Samuels' talking points, then trying to make it like those were his original talking points. But if you notice, he don't have any videos up on this channel prior to the era of Kevin Samuels. Okay. And again, Kevin Samuels was a single man. Ringo TV is a married man. Okay. So now we could say to him and put his feet to the fire and say, why aren't you married to multiple women? Okay. It's not finances, because you see him showing off his houses, his cars. So if you ask him, he would say that he has the money to take care of multiple women. And he's also on record giving advice to men that they should take a wife every 5 years. Okay, so he's well past that stage. All right, he's not in his 20s, he's not in his 30s. This is a 47-year-old man. So again, those of you in the comments, let's talk about this. Let's put this on the table, this debate on polygyny. I'm calling out Dowell, I'm calling out RingoTV, and I'm calling out NuBreed as well. But I'm focusing on RingoTV right now because he's the biggest hypocrite amongst those three. All right, Dowell is coming to the table with scripture, and although he has another man's wife, at least you could say that he's putting his life on the line. Don't get me wrong, he's a wicked bastard, but at least he's put his foot out there because there's still some risk. Understand what I'm saying here? There's still some risk taking on multiple wives, and it's not under the covenant, the Most High. You understand? There's a risk with being a hypocrite as well, because they all going to hell. They all going to hell anyway. You understand? But I'm rightly dividing the word of truth, because dirty low Dowell, if he was to give everything away, like the scriptures say, a rich man go sell everything he owned and give it to the poor. Now he's at risk of those wives taking him to the courts. Again, because this is a matriarchal kingdom. Okay, and RingoTV doesn't want to face that. Okay, but he understands something like this, especially during this time. You had RingoTV taking the talking points of Kevin Samuels, and then he was going back to Dirty Low Dowell, taking some points from him as well. Okay, because he didn't do his homework on Dirty Low Dowell until last year when Pastor Rufus was evicted from Straightway. And RingoTV had somewhat of a relationship with Rufus as well. Okay, but he didn't start talking about this until he taken Kevin Samuels' talking points. And then he was also taken from Dirty Low Dowell. All right, so he used that to increase his viewership, to increase his subscribers. Now I'm calling him out because he's a hypocrite.
I try to teach men to be honest up front with women, straight up and down. This is why I don't care. This is why I can teach and speak boldly. Somebody said, but you're messing up your chances with women. I only deal with women that deal with polygyny. I don't give a fuck how you feel. At the end of the day, you're going to get this truth because you're going to be single, a single mother, ran through, pumped, and dumped by every single man you meet if you're not following the Most High and a righteous man. No matter how you feel, you can get mad. Don't get mad with me. Just look at your life. Look at your outcomes. Ladies, look at all the men you deal with. Every time you're in a relationship, he cheated on me. He cheated on me. He cheated on me. Every single time, he cheated on me. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to understand? See, a man is supposed to deal with women based on truth. These men today are wicked as hell. I already taught on that. Most of these men today are no good because they don't know the Most High. You can't expect men that don't know the Most High to be good men. But see, what you ladies love is you love wicked men because you want to turn the wicked man into a good man rather than just getting with a godly man. I don't understand that. You understand?
Well, the reason why that is the case with our women today is because of the serpent's seed. Okay, the serpent's seed has had 6,000 years to spread through the bloodlines of men. All right, but RingoTV don't believe that. He don't believe that the serpent had sex with Eve. That's what corrupted her bloodline so much to the degree where a woman has a menstrual cycle every month. Okay, I teach these things. Okay, and that's another thing I've called them out on. Okay, and I've provided plenty of scripture. I did a series, Polygyny is a Package Deal, where I explained all these things. Okay, I even explained it in my White Supremacy is a Package Deal series. Okay, I've called him out on his BS. Okay, he does not believe in the virgin birth. He don't believe in the deep things of God, which is what the scriptures say. That's why the scriptures say meditate on the word day and night. So you will understand these mysteries. Okay. And those of you who've been following this channel, you can attest to my teachings. I've called this heretic out. All right. Again, as I stated earlier, what he's doing is appealing to the woman to say, well, look at your life now. Okay. Well, we could say that with the men as well. Okay. The men are corrupted as well by the serpent's seed. All right. God is holding the man more accountable because the scriptures say the head of Christ is God. The head of man is Christ. And the head of the woman is the man. Okay. So if the men are out here going out there using their wealth to establish adult films and OnlyFans and establishing all of these entities that turn the women out to be whores, okay, you can't only talk to the women, right? Now, I'm very balanced on this channel. I talk to the men and to the women. Okay, that's why for you women who watch this channel, you can see my playlist that I've did on Dirty Low Dowell. I've talked about him more than I have about the women. Okay, but I have to talk about both sides because the serpent seed has corrupted the man and the woman. All right, but it's impacted them in different ways in some cases. So I've opened the table for debate. And this heretic, this false prophet, this liar, he continues to play both sides. That's why I've given him the nickname, the Black Pinocchio. Okay, because he's a liar.
Let's continue.
And two, they said it's not just about sex, it's about the...
It's not about sex. That's all women seem to focus on is sex. Sex, sex, sex. Ladies, what exactly do you want a man for? Why do women want to marry a man? Ladies, let's stop the bullshit. You marry a man for his resources. The only reason why you want a husband is for his resources. We see this with all the women that flock to Kevin Samuels looking for a high-value man. So y'all being exposed every damn day. Y'all just want money. That's what you want. You want resources, you want money, you want gifts, you want trips, you want resources. You won't even deal with a man if he's not dressing nice. You won't even go out with a man if he don't got a car. Some of you women are so superficial, if he ain't taking you out and spending this amount of money, you think something wrong with him. So when we look at it, everything about you women revolves around you wanting money. Women marry up. Women date up. So why are you even focused on if a man wants sex when you were created by the Most High to be that man's pleasure? You're acting as if though sex is a one-way street. You got here through sex. Your mom and your pop had sex. But you're trying to shame men as if though polygyny is all about a man wanting more than one woman is for sex. And you feel kind of left out because you're like, you know what? He's with these 2-3 women and he's getting all of this sex as if though a man is just having sex all damn day.
No, in your case, you teach polygyny because of money. And you understand that the women are aware that there's an epidemic in women not getting married. But the women desire to get married, especially those who increase in age, because they know that there's a biological time clock and they want that security. And yes, some of them do want the bag. Okay. But you're just trying to copy Kevin Samuels. That's all you're trying to do because he was on that polygyny bandwagon as well. Okay. Which is a false doctrine. And by the way, when I say the serpent seed, okay, I broke this down in my videos and my teachings. I'm not talking about a snake. Okay, you must keep in mind that the scriptures say in the book of Enoch that the fallen ones, the fallen angels, sin against man and beast. Okay. Animals used to be able to communicate with man and the spirits. Okay. So the serpent, the snake, was compromised by an evil spirit, or rather a fallen angel. Okay. That's why the scriptures say the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field. Okay. Now, cunning is a negative connotation. Okay. So if the serpent was cunning and everything God made was good, how is it that the serpent became compromised? That's why you got to read the book of Enoch. It says the fallen angels sinned against birds and beasts. Okay. But they sinned against man as well because Adam and Eve wouldn't have learned the secrets of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil if they didn't listen to the fallen angels, and if Eve wasn't compromised sexually by the fallen angels. So when it says serpent, that's why in Genesis chapter 3, it goes on to say that the serpent has a seed. Okay. The serpent was a separate entity from the literal snake. Okay. But the snake, in some way, shape, or fashion, was manipulated by an evil entity, okay, to deceive Eve. All right. But the actual transgression of Eve sinning against her body, because the scriptures say, he who commits fornication sins against his own body. Okay. That was done with a fallen angel. Okay. And that's how demonic spirits were produced, because it was perversion for a fallen angel to mate with a woman. God didn't create fallen angels to mate with women, just like he didn't create men to be with men. All right.
Free and you can be a part of the rainbow. Well, that same system has suppressed your manhood and basically said that we don't want you to be fruitful and multiply. That's why everything in the world system is population control. Have you ever thought about that? The Bible teaches us to be fruitful and multiply. In the world system, everything is about population control, Planned Parenthood, reducing the population. These are the plans of the Antichrist, is to stop the productivity of the biblical Israelites from bringing forth the one. And this is why they want you to take vaccine so that you can destroy your immune system, so that you can alter your DNA, so that your women can have miscarriages and all sorts of problems can happen in your family, so that you can die early. There's so many different issues that's going on in this world to prevent life from being born. And this is why they gave you condoms. This is why they gave you HIV. All of these things are designed to keep people from multiplying because they realize that their time is up. When we look at all these other ethnic groups of people, they're not multiplying like the so-called black man and black woman. We are multiplying like never before, even in our dysfunction, even with all of these single mothers just having babies out of wedlock and babies to wicked men. We're still multiplying. It's like the word of the Most High is happening even in our dysfunction. Women are just bringing forth these babies, even if it's by 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys. And what's sad about this is we're multiplying even in our wicked behavior.
This hypocrite always talk about being fruitful and multiply, but he doesn't even break that down. Okay. What God was commanding Abraham to do is do not bring children into the world if you're not going to raise them up in my statutes and my commandments. Okay. And my ordinances. All right. He's pretty much letting them know, but he understood that Abraham had faith, because without faith, it's impossible to please God. That's why he made him a father of many nations, because Abraham's direct lineage would eventually be the 12 tribes of Israel, or should I say his descendants closer to his bloodline would be the 12 tribes of Israel, because Jacob was Abraham's grandson, and Jacob also believed the Most High by faith. Okay, so when he say be fruitful and multiply, meaning multiply but be fruitful. Okay, because obviously you got to give birth to a child before they produce fruit. You see what I'm saying? And the fruit is not literal fruit. Okay, it's talking about the deeds of man. So be fruitful and multiply. You're just multiplying seed. There's a difference between multiplying seed and producing fruit. Okay, the scriptures tell us that most people are going to the lake of fire. So God was commanding Abraham, not only speaking to Abraham, but generations that would succeed Abraham, don't have children. Otherwise, Christ wouldn't have said about Judas, it would have been better if he had never been born. Okay, we got to break these scriptures down. Why would he say to Judas? He's not just picking on Judas. If a person is born into this earth, as Job 14:1 says, man who is born of woman is of few years and full of trouble. Okay, if a person is born into this earth and their parents don't raise them up in the way that they should go, and that person becomes an adult, die in their sins, and go to hell, it would be better if they had never been born. Okay, but RingoTV don't break this down. So you talk about polygyny, the Most High in his infinite wisdom understood that 4,000 years after the sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, their forefathers, 4,000 years later, polygyny will be corrupt and it'll be unsustainable because men became corrupt. As I said, Apostle Paul said because of sexual immorality. Christ said because this is a wicked and adulterous generation. They're not going to continue in the path of their forefathers. You can't even keep the law of Moses today. It's impossible. There's too many consecrations, especially for the blood of women, the impurity of women. Women could not be in regular society. They had to be consecrated during their menstrual cycle. So God was using that as a band-aid, a temporary assignment for the children of Israel. So long as they were consecrated, they were able to practice polygyny. And of course, they had the law of Moses, which is the strictest law that has ever existed in human history. Okay, but this hypocrite is unlearned. Okay, and I've exposed him. All right. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, but I got more to come. Trust me. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for your support. All those who've been supporting the channel, liking the videos, I thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.